The moments after a medieval battle were filled with exhaustion and relief for those who survived, but for the dead and dying, it was the beginning of something far worse. The battlefield was littered with bodies, some motionless, others still groaning in pain. Severed limbs, shattered weapons, and broken shields were scattered across the ground. The once green fields were now rivers of blood, and the air reeked of sweat, iron, and death. For the victorious army, there was no immediate concern for the dead. Their first priority was to secure the battlefield, ensure their enemies were completely defeated, and prevent any possible counterattack. The second priority was looting. Before any burials took place, the bodies were stripped of everything valuable. Soldiers, even noble knights, were robbed of their weapons, armor, and personal belongings. Chainmail, helmets, and shields were expensive and could be reused. Swords and daggers were taken to be sold or melted down for new weapons. Even clothing was sometimes removed from the dead, as fabric was not cheap in the Middle Ages. Looting was not limited to enemies. In the chaos of war, a soldier who had fought beside you in the morning might become nothing more than a corpse to rob by evening. The desperation for survival often overpowered the bonds of brotherhood. In some cases, wounded soldiers who could no longer fight were finished off, not out of mercy, but so their armor and weapons could be taken without resistance. Once the battlefield had been picked clean, the dead were left where they lay, exposed to the elements and scavengers. With no immediate way to dispose of the corpses, the gruesome sight of bloated, decomposing bodies became a common feature of medieval war. But while the living moved on, the dead were not forgotten. Something had to be done, either out of respect, fear, or sheer necessity. Unlike modern wars, medieval battles did not have organized teams to retrieve and bury the dead. The responsibility for dealing with the corpses often fell to those who had little choice in the matter. The victorious army, if time and resources allowed, sometimes buried their own dead. But this was not always possible. If another battle was expected soon, they had no time to dig graves. In some cases, noble warriors were carried back to their homes for proper burial, but the common soldier was often left behind. For the defeated army, retrieving their dead was nearly impossible. If they had been forced to retreat, they rarely had the opportunity to return and bury their fallen comrades. Sometimes they returned days later to recover important figures, such as kings, knights, or respected commanders. But if they did not return quickly, the bodies were left to decay or be dealt with by others. The grim task of burying the dead often fell to local peasants. For them, it was not an act of respect, but a necessity. A field full of rotting corpses was a health hazard, and disease could spread quickly if the dead were left exposed for too long. However, peasants did not risk their lives for free. In some cases, they were paid by noble families or town officials to bury the dead. Other times, they scavenged the bodies themselves, searching for valuables the soldiers might have missed. Not everyone avoided battlefields after the fighting was over. For some, a field full of corpses was an opportunity for wealth. Grave robbers would sneak onto battlefields at night, picking through the bodies in search of gold rings, necklaces, and coins hidden in clothing. Even teeth were sometimes removed if they were made of gold. But there were also those who sought the bodies themselves. In medieval times, human bones were valuable. They could be ground into powder for medical treatments, used to make fertilizer, or even turned into tools. Years after a battle, people would return to old battlefields to dig up bones and sell them. This gruesome trade was not uncommon, especially in places where many battles had taken place over centuries. Wild animals also played a role in the aftermath of battle. Wolves, crows, and wild dogs were common sights on medieval battlefields. In some cases, soldiers reported seeing pigs eating human remains. With so many bodies left unburied, nature took over quickly. One of the greatest dangers of medieval warfare was not the battle itself, but what happened afterward. A single battlefield could produce thousands of corpses, and if they were not buried quickly, they became a serious health risk. The smell alone was unbearable. Chroniclers wrote about the stench of death lingering for weeks after a battle, spreading for miles. Rotting corpses attracted flies, rats, and other carriers of disease. In some cases, entire towns near battlefields fell victim to plagues because of the contamination. Rivers and wells could become polluted with blood and decomposing flesh, leading to outbreaks of deadly illnesses. This was one of the main reasons why mass graves were often dug as quickly as possible. However, even mass graves were not always effective. If they were too shallow, rain and erosion could expose the remains, turning old battlefields into eerie landscapes of scattered bones. This was a common sight across Europe, especially in areas that had seen frequent wars. Even today, archaeologists continue to uncover medieval mass graves, revealing the forgotten horrors of the past. While common soldiers were often left in mass graves or abandoned entirely, noble warriors were given different treatment. If a high-ranking knight or lord was killed, his body was considered valuable. In many cases, his family would pay a high price to retrieve it for burial. Some nobles were embalmed and sent home for a proper funeral in a family tomb or church. In some cases, knights who died in foreign lands had their flesh boiled off so their bones could be transported back home, a practice known as excarnation. This gruesome method allowed families to preserve the remains of their loved ones without the risk of decay during long journeys. Even now, medieval battlefields hold the bones of the past, silent reminders of the brutal reality of war. Some are discovered centuries later, revealing the gruesome truth of what happened after the battle ended. The knights and warriors who once fought with honor and bravery were often reduced to nothing more than bones in the dirt. Would you have wanted to fight in a medieval battle, knowing this was your likely fate? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.